Hi, Katie.
Hi.
Welcome today.
Hi, it's good to be back.
Yeah, nice to see you again. So, what would you like to talk about today?
Um, so we've been talking in our class a lot about like oppression and like accumulative trauma, and it's had me thinking about what's like some moments in my own life might have looked like.
Okay.
Um, so the first thing that came to mind was this is a really silly story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So I went to Lutheran school growing up. I went to Zion Lutheran, which is just right down the street from here. I don't know what happened. It's Wi-Fi. We're fine. And it was, my class was like probably 100 kids total, and I went to school with them kindergarten through 8th grade. And when I was in 7th grade, I wanted to play soccer. I played soccer on like teams outside of school, but the only school team we had was a boys soccer team. And so according to Title IX, or whichever one it is that makes things equal for boys and girls, technically they were supposed to allow me to play, or at least try out on the boys soccer team. And the coach, who was an elder at our church, like was training to be a pastor, I talked to him about it, thinking he was going to, like, he had daughters. I was like, he's going to be in support of this. This is going to be great. His exact words to me were, I could try out, but I could practice with the team, but he would never play me a single minute of the entire season because I was a girl. And if we were to look back on like my feminist roots, I'm pretty sure they blossomed that day.
So, what were you thinking when he was giving you that information?
I was just really confused. Like, I was born in the 90s. Like, girls, like, the Spice Girls were a thing when I was in elementary school. Like, I don't know. Like, I expected him to be more open to the idea of me playing for their team, or even just, like, giving the opportunity to try out for their team. And he just made me feel small. Like, I couldn't do it. And, like, he had no idea if I could have been a great player, but he didn't. He made it very obvious that if I had wanted to play on the team or even try out for the team, that it was going to be a fight.
So, I hear you saying that it made you feel small. Would you define now, when you think about that now?
Yeah.
How does that carry over?
I think it just made me feel like I wasn't good enough, and like it didn't matter how hard I worked or how much I would try to prove myself. Like, he wasn't going to let me do it just based on my gender. Which seemed really dumb because I knew lots of boys that played for their team that really sucked. So, like, I don't know, it just made me feel like it was something that was totally outside of my control. And it didn't matter how good I was, it didn't matter. So it just made me feel like inadequate and like I wasn't good enough.
So, you're saying that it made you feel small, not good enough, and how do you think that that's reflected on your years following that experience?
I think it made me work like twice as hard with things, especially things that were like male dominated. I don't know, like I'm definitely not one of those people that's like, men suck, men are terrible, blah, blah, blah. Like, I have a dad I love, I have a boyfriend I love, but I was like that much more pushed to like, okay, well, you won't let me do this and it's full of men, like, let me try other stuff that's full of men. Fine, let's see how I do. And so my freshman year of college, I decided to run for student body president on a whim against a guy who I thought was incompetent, and I lost because I was a freshman, but I only lost by 70 votes. And so, like, and I'm the only female president they've had in the last, like, 7 years. Like, every president after me has been a guy.
Really?
Yes. So, but I think, like, that experience was, like, I don't know, like, dared me to, like, okay, well, you won't let me do this. Let me try all this other stuff. I mean, I don't work in STEM. I'm a teacher. Like, teaching is dominated by women, unfortunately. But yeah, no, I think it, like, pushed me that much more to, like, try harder. And my parents were upset about it. Like, the way my parents reacted to it was, like, validating that. And, like, I very much had their support that, like, if I had wanted to keep pushing and, like, make the team, that they would have supported that.
Well, that's a nice feeling. And
yeah.
Could you see how maybe others around you, other than your parents, are there others in your family that felt the same way? Or
Yeah.
friends that felt the same
I mean, I think, like, I'm the oldest of 4 daughters, and like, but like whatever I do, like I feel like in some ways like I kind of like have set the tone for like what is like possible like for them to do, and so I guess I'd never felt like my actions like limited them. Like I felt like my actions growing up kind of opened things up more for them.
I think that's what I hear you saying, is that it was a hard experience for you, but it gave you a different kind of sense or drive around what you can and can't do, and that it's giving your family members, your sisters,
Right.
an example.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes, that's very accurate. Awesome.
Okay.
Let's hope that this.
Yeah, I need to be in. There.
Here, I'll scoot you this way.
There.
We would like to welcome you to our very private counseling session here at Panera. We also stopped the video. Sorry for that.
Sorry. Okay, go.
So I did like that you picked up on the like keyword of small, which made her elaborate more on like how that made her feel. So I thought that was really good. And then you did really good at summarizing like what she was saying. The only negative thing is the very first question you asked was a closing question, so it didn't really like get more reflection or like information from her.
Cool.
So that would really be the only thing that I would say. I really like that you picked up the keyword of small because it made her like elaborate more on like her feelings.
Good job. Good job using that word.
Good work.
I also thought that the way that you summarized and paraphrased like made me look at the situation differently in a good way. So I haven't really given that situation very much thought at all in the last like 10 years, but like that does connect to who I am today, and you picked up on that. So I thought it was really good. And I don't even remember what question she
I don't
asked.
either.
What was it?
I don't remember. I just know it was
We'll
a
know
closing
when
question.
All right.
Okay.
So do we switch now?
Yeah. Switch.
Did we provide feedback long enough? Oh well. Okay.
Okay, cut. You can cut it now, though.
No, I think
We
we
just
just
keep it
Oh, okay. Switching.
Okay, now they're gonna like see my butt.
Sorry.
Just walk forward.
I'm trying. I'm trying. There we go.
That's
kind of funny. See, I'm comfortable. It's cool by the way.
Is it? Okay. Well then.
Hi Kim, welcome back.
Hello. Thank you.
So anything come up for you over the past few weeks since we last met?
Yeah, I guess I've been kind of struggling with some things that happened in my past, and I'm just trying to figure out if that's the reason that I'm still struggling with what I'm struggling with.
So you're saying you're struggling with something from the past. What would that struggle be?
Yeah, I'm watching my children kind of go through the development stages, and I can see where some of their decisions are impacting them in a positive and a negative, and it made me think about the time when I was on the school board, and when I was voted on the school board, it was purposefully to save the incumbent because there was a group of people that were kind of prepared to try to have him removed from the job. And so when I joined the board, or when I was voted onto the board, there was a lot of support for myself and another person that we ran together. And once we got on the board, the situation changed, and we actually saw the reasons why there was some question about his true ability to perform the job. There were a lot of issues that needed to be addressed, and he really didn't have the skill to address it. And so when it came time to renew his contract, I was the deciding vote to not do that. And it caused a lot of reaction from the community at large, and from teachers and people that were behind me and supporting me to be on the board. But it was a decision I had to make because I had different facts than they had. But I couldn't talk about facts because it's confidential. So it was a very difficult time. I remember thinking, I can't wait till this period of time is over. So I felt belittled, and people talked about me, and kind of felt like the time would never end. So my son kind of going through the same kind of thing, despite the decision he's making. making that are good decisions, but they're hard.
So I hear you saying you were on the school board, you had to make a big decision that the rest of the community may or may not have agreed with.
Right.
And that point in time you had felt belittled. Can you kind of elaborate on how that made you feel belittled or how that's affecting you today?
I think I carry with me that constant, I guess, evaluation of the situation I'm in, and the fact that I had a different perspective than they had actually really made me aware that I can't be judgmental on anybody, because I don't know either what they're dealing with or the information that they have that might be different than my own. So in the moment, it was really difficult, and I can remember feeling very alone. And then now, when I look back, I can see that was a very developmental opportunity for me, because it made me understand perspectives. That's important over time. Yeah.
So it made you feel alone
Yes. During the moment.
during that moment.
Very
It made you feel alone. Okay, so in the beginning you kind of said how it's affecting your children. Can you kind of like elaborate on that piece and how it's affecting your children and the alone piece with that?
I can see the exact same kind of process happening now with my son, who's making decisions based on his data, based on his perspective,
Okay.
about either drinking or not drinking, or smoking or not smoking, or participating with people that he doesn't care for or not participating. And I can see where he's got this internal struggle, and I can see where right now he feels very alone. And I just want to tell him it'll be better, and this is a really growth opportunity for you, but he's not going to hear me now. He's 17, and he'll just look at me like, yeah, whatever, Mom.
So what I hear you saying is you went through this developmental time a few years back, and now it's kind of transitioning and your son's going through the same thing. And you want to be able to help your son, but at the same time he's at that age where he's probably not going to listen to exactly what you're saying anyway.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm struggling with right now.
Okay. Because I didn't know idea where to go from there.
Yes.
Well, I thought you did a really good job of. Here, so you can see me. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. Cool. I think you did a really good job of summarizing and paraphrasing what she was feeling. One of your questions was kind of confusing because you jumped from, but I totally feel that. I've done that. Like, got all these thoughts that you want to get out of your mouth, and then So, but I thought that was really good. I thought you had really good encouraging, like, nonverbals, like nodding your head and eye contact, and like also looking away when that was appropriate. So I thought you did very well.
Yeah, and I think the way that you tied in what I was saying to my son and then back from him to me, that was good. Perfect.
Yeah.
I think that was really good. That was the whole sense of what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I was like not sure where to go after that. I was like, are we?
It's really hard to like organically bring up like trauma. It's hard to do. You got something? Okay.
Oh,
Next.
something on the
Go
spot.
around the circle. We're lucky we found this. It was fun.
I know. So would you like this?
I'll just play with it. So I actually have a palette.
Okay. Are you guys in? No.
No.
It's Gucci.
Maybe no.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Hi, Brittany. How are you today?
Oh, I'm good. Kind of got a lot of stuff from my past coming up, and not quite sure how to deal with it or where to go.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here then. We can maybe talk through some of that. So what, do you have anything specifically from your past that you'd like to talk about? Or?
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess maybe in the grade school and high school, I was bullied a lot. And now it's kind of affecting me today because I'm kind of seeing it in my workplace with another individual who was just recently hired. And I really want to stand up for this person, but at the same time, I think of me being bullied and people not standing up for me, but then somebody had stood up for me and it didn't turn out well for them. So it's just kind of really confusing and just not sure what to do or where to go, and I don't really want to get in everybody's business. We're adults, so it's just really
That's really tough. So I hear you saying that you're kind of confused about what to do, which makes you feel a little conflicted.
Yep.
Using the information you have from your past.
Yes.
So you talked briefly about being bullied in the past. What did that look like?
So I would go to school on a day-to-day basis. I would try and sit with girls at a lunch table, and they would all get up and move. So it was kind of not fun for me to go to school. Like I was in middle school-ish, so I still kind of enjoyed going to school, but then going to school and being bullied all the time, it was never fun. At recess, I never really had friends to hang out with, so I was kind of alone. So really, I felt most comfortable at home with my family because I was welcome there, and they made me feel good. And I didn't have that at school, and I didn't have that with my peers. So it was kind of a struggle for me to even enjoy school and to want to go to school. So
So what I hear you saying is, growing up, you tried to make friends in your middle school, and middle school girls can be rather unkind.
yeah,
And so you found a lot of comfort being at home because you felt welcome and accepted there.
yes, exactly.
So how do you see that kind of same situation playing out right now at your workplace?
So we have a new employee, and they don't really fit in with everybody else at work. Everybody else has kind of been there for a while, so we're really, really close. And people at work just aren't very accepting of new people. And I'm not really like that. So she's kind of being bullied and kind of trying to get her to, I guess, quit, even though we need that person there. So I'm just not really sure how to address it. Like I want to say something to my coworkers, but at the same time, I don't want to be turned against.
Right.
So it's just kind of a difficult situation to be in, and I'm not really sure how to maneuver and where to go next.
Well, I feel like it's hard as an adult because, like, at least when you're a kid, you can like go tell your teacher, but as an adult, then that falls
Yes.
on you,
Yeah.
which is kind of what I hear you like the spot you're in right now.
Yep. Yeah.
You feel like you want to be the person that maybe you wish you had when you were in middle school, but at the same time, you don't want the retribution.
Yes.
I can see how that would be really confusing
Yeah.
about what to choose to do.
Yeah.
I guess, like, what repercussions do you think there will be if you choose to stand up for this person?
So I'm nervous that they're just gonna like shut me out, and then I'm gonna be the person that is being per se bullied at work.
Right.
And I've been through that in my past. I don't want to go through it in my workplace. I kind of am in a place where I feel accepted for who I am in the place that I'm in, and I don't want anything to change that or alter that in any way. I feel guilty because I'm not sticking up for this new individual at work because I know how it feels to be in her position.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm conflicted on where to go from here. I mean, I've eaten lunch with her, I've done things with her to make her feel included, but at the same time, the other individuals at work aren't like that. So it's just kind of a situation.
It's really tough. 1 minute left. Can you tell me a little bit more about feeling guilty? You've mentioned that a couple of times. So why do you think you feel guilty?
I feel guilty because I know what it's like to be in her position, and I'm not doing anything about it when I wish that somebody would have done the same for me when I was younger. So I feel guilty in that sense in regards to I know what it's like to be in her position, and I'm not doing anything about it, right? So it's like a sense of guilt that nothing's being done.
Which outcome would you feel best about? Because either one, like you're taking a risk, right?
Yeah.
If you let it keep happening, you might feel guilty. If you let it, you step in and become a friend, you might be the one to get ostracized.
Yeah.
Which one?
I feel like I would feel better about standing up for her because I know what it's like to be in her position, and you want to feel welcome when you come into a new place with new people, and you don't want to be the one that's being bullied or shut out. So I know I would feel better, and I know that's the right decision. It's just going about that decision, right? How to handle it. that I
Definitely.
don't know how to deal with it.
And like how to do it in a way that doesn't isolate you from everything else.
Yes.
That's what I hear you saying.
Exactly.
That you're hoping for anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Guys, I made that whole thing up. That's not real. that never happened.
It was like, these people are horrible.
Yeah, no, that never happened.
I
I was never bullied in grade school or middle school, and there's no new person at work either.
Well, good job with it. That's very, very well done. I would have never known that. I would have never known that either. This is a lesson in client truthfulness.
That was all made up.
Okay, so I think in the very beginning you did an awesome job of rephrasing, paraphrasing, and summarizing, being supportive and encouraging. And then I kind of felt like maybe you were trying to solve,
Right.
right?
Right, that was
Versus-
kind of a difficult one, and I was trying to like.
No, it's okay. It was one of those like, I was trying to feel out like what she wanted because sometimes people just want to talk and like
About it.
she wanted an answer and I can't give her an answer,
Yeah,
but like we could talk through solutions.
I
I don't know how to like pace that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where does that happen?
I don't know if it's like it's
Well, in 5 minutes.
you're
not
supposed
gonna-
to do it or if it's appropriate, but I liked how you like gave me like the two scenarios and what I would feel better about. So I did like that. I don't know if that's something you're supposed to
Right.
do.
Well, it is now based on the reading for this class.
Yeah.
Now it is about that.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, but it is about that. It is about helping kind of manage through choice.
Yeah.
And
So I did like
things
that because that made it like an actual reality of what would make you feel better moving forward, and how do you see this going? So
Well,
I did like that.
I could see where you were coming from. Like I think like that's especially when you have trauma. Like my boyfriend was bullied in elementary school, and like that still very much affects
Oh, I bet.
the decisions he makes today.
Yeah.
And so like while I am much more likely to like step in, he is much more likely to be like
No way.
Yeah.
not getting involved.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, I do
my
think
boyfriend and
that-
I have lots of conversations like that, not as a counselor,
Yeah.
and
but just as people.
just as people. And so I think that's where some of that like problem solving
Yeah.
came out of. I also like I was criticizing myself. I have to like constructively criticizing myself. I have to like think about the words I'm using because like while I know what these words mean, like ostracize, like not every kid is gonna, or like if I'm working with a teenager,
Right.
like if I
They
say an
wouldn't know what that
ostracize to
meant.
one of my 8th graders, they'd be like ostrich, like what?
Yeah.
But that's dependent on your clients, right? So some clients you would use those words.
See, I like that you use that word because it kind of made it more of a reality on how like I could have been feeling in that moment.
Good, I'm glad.
So
I was just-
it was beneficial for this session, but maybe not with children.
Right.
Fair.
Right. Right. Yeah, and it was in summary too. So she could have said, "No, that's not the right
Yeah.
word," or
Yeah, that's not
Right.
so that's
True.
okay.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, thank you.
Good job. Good job.
I never know like if I'm like step because whenever we do those things with berries, I was like, you're problem solving.
I know.
Stop problem solving. It's not our job to problem solve. And I was like, but it kind of is our job to problem solve. Kind of. You're supposed to present the problem solution to them.
And I think really when if you really be with a client, you'd have already, right? You'd have a pattern of, okay, I need to understand this person. So by the time you would get there, it would be natural, I think.
Yeah.
I think
And
this
we're
is
in
just
like
so
such a
forced.
quick
Yeah.
thing to like get out what we're supposed to get out in a short period of time.
That's what I think too. I think the limitation of time makes this so accelerated.
Right.
Because honestly, you would have sat and asked very different questions if it was an hour. If you knew you had an hour with her,
Yeah.
If it wasn't like,
that's what I think.
I just feel
think
like
I-
actual sessions would be so much more laid back than
Oh,
all of these
yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm being watched, right? And so
Yeah.
like when you're in a room by yourself,
Evaluated.
you're kind of like, I don't want to say you're shooting a shit with them, but in some way, like, you're getting to know who, and I think that's how it is with my counselor I'm seeing right now. Like, it's just this, like, give and go, and not this, like,
See, that's like the counsel that I see now is I come in every week with a new issue that I want to talk about. It's not some big gradual thing that I'm trying to deal with that's been
Right.
an issue over time. I just come in,
Say, here's how I feel today.
this is how I feel today, this is what's affecting me this week, and we figure it out in that 50-minute session. So,
when I feel like if my counselor right now is like, it's cool because she like prepares stuff, so she has like, and an assessment that she might give me, like to figure out my like personality preferences, or like we've been doing like my family constellation. I think she's Adlarian, which I appreciate. Shout out to you, Courtney. I know I feel like he's like with us, so I feel like I should like
address him.
even though like he's probably not going to be the one. I don't know. But it's nice because she's like willing to just like throw that out the window if there's something else they want to talk about. So like I had to hotline a girl last week until we talked about that. Literally my whole session, because I was just like,
But that's a whole session conversation.
it is. I mean, and it took up the whole session, and she was more than willing to put her stuff. She wasn't like, oh, I'm sorry you're feeling that way.
Here's my assessment.
Here's my assessment. I was like, I'm so sorry we didn't get to that. And she's like, you talk a lot. Some clients don't. Like, this is what we use to like get them where they're supposed to kind of go. Which I thought was interesting.
All right, I'm clicking this hotline.
Are we ready for tape 3?